let it rain. Hall of Fame. Every word's a heavyweight swing. Hall of Fame. Built on blood, sweat, and pain. Hall of Fame. Put respect on the game. Put respect on the game. Hey. Put respect on the game. Hey. Yeah. Put respect from the mat to the mic, from the grind to the glow. Every scar got a story, every win you already know. No gimmicks, no smoke, just the truth when we speak. If it moves the culture, we the ones you should seek. They been watching the climb, now they hear the voice. When legends talk legacy, they ain't really a choice. Hall of Fame. This ain't hype, this is fact. Hall of Fame. Every era intact. Hall of Fame. Past, present collide. Hall of Fame. Forever certified. Put respect on the Booker T certified. 5 times solidified. Brad Gilmore verified. Voice of the fight amplified. Of his legacy we testify. Of his greatness we let it fly. History don't whisper. It speaks when we arrive. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Legends never change.
Live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me as always, and we're getting ready to do this thing. I want to thank the people stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, baby. How you feel, dog? How you feel coming off this weekend?
Oh, man, we had a great weekend. We had the Elimination Chamber. We did our preview show for ESPN. And then, we kicked things off on your birthday, March the 1st, for the Row Awards. Happy belated BT. I hope you enjoyed yourself last night and the night before. The day before, I feel like you had a great day from everything I understand. So congratulations on another trip around the sun, man.
Yeah, man. It's always good. It's always good. It's crazy, man. Never thought I'd see myself. I didn't see myself here. But I'm here. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. The stem cell is kicking in. I'm like a brand new man all over again. BioAccelerator, man. I got to give them a big shout out, man, for taking care of me. Get me back on track. But nah, man, it's been a lot going on this weekend. Like you said, we had Row Awards. And that was huge. It's always good to honor, our guys and our girls that go out there and work so hard throughout that 365 and to see them, be so appreciative. That was really, really cool. I remember, like Lady Bird, she got up there. She won an award, Monica Monroe. And I remember talking to her about, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago. And I say, Monica, trust me, your time's going to come. Your time's coming. She said, I trust your book. And now I look at her and I see where she's going. She's on a trajectory where I really see her in, NXT, WWE doing something big here really, really soon. And it's just amazing. It really is truly amazing to see all the guys. Even like guys like Ed Stone, who came back in town just for, Row Awards, one of my guys, So it's amazing to see what we have built at Reality Wrestling. And the thing is, we just about 3 stories high, man. We got about 10 more stories to go.
Ain't that the truth, man? It's always cool. Like we had our Row of Fame induction, and Aiden Cristiano, leader La Familia, went into the Row of Fame last night, and he had such a great speech. And the guys who've been around, like himself, like Abel, like Kevin, like Ryan, and even myself for the last 14 years, we've seen how reality wrestling's grown. And the guys and girls who are coming in now are reaping the fruits of the labor of everyone who came before them, and that's how it goes. And what I'm excited about are what are these guys going to be telling the next class in 10 years, right? Oh, y'all don't know how easy y'all got it, y'all got room and board and meals, and you got a full workout suite. We had to struggle. To struggle.
I can only imagine, man. I don't even want to think about it. I'm serious, man. I really don't even want to think about it. But we had a great time, man. Good food, good drink. Good friends.
Shout out to the missus. Shout out to the queen, Charmel, for helping organize the thing. It was beautifully decorated.
She went to work, bro. She went to work. I'm talking about that. Queen Magic came out and hooked everything up. And Mom, don't forget about Mom.
And
Mom
yes.
definitely was out there on the call doing a job as well. But man, everybody come together as a team and we create something very, very special. And the thing is, it's on with and up to next year's Road Awards. It seemed like it comes like so quick. And it's amazing. It really is. But no, man, let's get started. It's something I want to get off my chest. And it's no. And like I said, I know we got to talk about the Elimination Chamber. You got Hall of Fame inductees going in. AJ Styles, Demolition is going to be going in finally. But independent wrestling is something that's near and dear to my heart. And I saw over the weekend, a female by the name of Zero. She took a power bomb off the balcony to the floor. And it was a few guys down there to catch her. But literally, she was on the balcony, power bomb all the way to the floor, and she ended up going to the hospital. Just remember, D'Lo Brown gave Draws a power bomb, and it was in the ring, and Draws broke his neck, never to walk again. A move like that is dangerous, just on its own in the middle of the ring. But to do it from the balcony is just negligent on the promoter's part. It's no wrestler going to come to me, and we're working in that setting, and say, "Hey, Book, can I do a power bomb off the balcony?" And I approve of it. So I put the onus all on the promoters and the guys who's running shows like that, putting these young talent in danger, putting their careers in danger and their future in danger before they ever have a chance at actually ever making it to the next level. So I definitely want to, speak on cautioning young guys, young girls going out there, putting themselves in this position to perhaps get seen to make it to the next level. Trust me, there's a whole lot better ways to be seen and be put in a better position to be seen than getting power bombed off a balcony. Never put yourself in that position. And I know a lot of people, a lot of young people, they want to do this. They want a shot. They want to get a chance at that WWE dream. They want to get a AEW, wherever, Japan. They want to be able to live it. And I get it. You got to be seen and actually to get discovered. But when I see stuff like that, the negligence of these promoters on these indie shows who have no clue as far as what that actually, feels like being in that situation, or like I say, putting yourself in that situation. For if something can happen, something will happen. That's just my motto. So caution to all the independent wrestlers out there. Please do not put yourselves in these predicaments where you can end up losing your livelihood.
Well, look, I'm fortunate enough, and I echo all the sentiments you have. I'm fortunate enough to have been only really at Reality of Wrestling. I did one independent date outside of Raw, and I'll never forget it. There was a time where Colt Cabana walked up to the promoter and said, "Hey, how much time we got for our match?" And the promoter said, "How much time you need?" Right? Like that's kind of the modus of operandi with different wrestling pros. Whatever you want to do, I don't care. You want to jump off a building, go ahead and do it. You need 30 minutes, and you want to go to a draw. Right, you want to get blood and throw on tacks, and you got light tubes. Here's my credit card. Go down to the Home Depot, or you know what? Better yet, you take your credit card. I'll pay you back. Right, like that's what these wrestling promoters. Some of them do. Some of them. I know there's a lot of credible organizations out there. We don't want to paint with a broad brush, but to allow somebody to do something like that, that's something that you might not ever get up from. You might not ever be able to wrestle ever again, let alone walk again. You mentioned D'Lo Brown and Draws. Draws was in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, and this is at the highest of levels with safety on the mind. And D'Lo's a hell of a worker. D'Lo never hurt anybody else. You know what I mean? Like that was a one of those freak accidents, and it can happen at any level. But let alone taking a power bomb through for what? What? So it goes viral? And what's the skill in it? What's the skill in that?
It was crazy. It was a guy that did the power bomb to the girl.
Oh my goodness. So who looks good in that? Like how does that get anybody over?
It gets no one over, and the guy could actually barely pick her up for the power bomb. That's how bad it was. I mean, it was all across the board. It was just wrong. All across, seriously, all across the board. For me, I don't know. You know me. I'm all about the young talent. I'm all about this next generation trying to, learn this thing, learn it properly. It's all about the what not to do's. And like I always say, you don't have to be the best wrestler to be the best wrestler, because it is about entertaining and performing at the highest level, at the best level that you possibly can. So my thing is, like I said, I just want to caution. I mean, I don't know, something just, compel me to want to caution these young people out there because, like I said, like we were just talking about, we had the Road Wars, and the highlight moment of the year was a 450, actually, a moonsault, actually, off the cage. And the cage is what, 12 feet?
At least.
Okay. Yeah. But it was done to the middle of the ring. And that was the highlight. But it was beautiful. It was beautiful. That one move had the crowd going crazy. And I tell you, when I saw it at the Road Wars, Chandler Hopkins, give him a shout out. When he did it, man, and it was so flawless. And I talked to him. I say, look, man, you don't got to do this. Okay, you could just do a splash or whatever. You know what I mean? Let's make it safe for you. So do not get up there, Chandler, and think that you have to do that freaking moonsault. 450. Which one is it? Yeah, 450. From the top. You don't have to do it. And boom, when the time came, he was just compelled to do it, but he felt but he felt like he could do it safe in the middle of the ring, and it was picture perfect. Nobody got hurt more than anything. And man, when I saw it yesterday, man, I just felt so good, man. I just had a rush that went through me. I go, wow, man, it's amazing what these guys are willing to go out there and do, and it's our job to try to put them in the best possible situation they could possibly be. Of course, we can do it to the outside of the ring, but no, you know what I'm saying? No, but it was.
I'll say quickly before we go to break, like how many times does a guy come into the office and be like, "Hey, book, I want to do this crazy spot or crazy bump," and you immediately go, "Nope, throw that out. Don't need it. You don't need that."
Like Will all day, Will all day wanted to jump off the scaffold. I'm like, for what? you break the camera on the way down. What are we gonna do about the rest of the show?
I love how you thought about the camera. The camera's what we're thinking about, not you. If you get hurt, whatever.
Oh man, but I just want to throw that out there, man. But you're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around, guys. We'll be back in a minute.
What's up, everybody? Brad Gilmore and Booker T here in the Hall of Fame, and we want you to stop what you're doing. Put the remote down, sit up straight, adjust your championship belt, because this is not just an ad. This is an announcement from the Performance Commission.
Oh yeah, man. I'm talking about bright lights, big fights, main event, last man standing energy, dog.
Look, this is the moment where the smoke hits, the pyro explodes, and the announcer screams, "Ladies and gentlemen, business is about to pick up."
Go ahead and tell him, Brad. Hit him with it.
Look, you already know what time it is. It's time to level up, and BlueChew just dropped something crazy. I'm talking about next level championship belt gold-plated energy.
I'm talking about BlueChew Gold. Is the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. This is the 4-in-1 beast that's setting gold standard performance, man.
Yeah, we're talking about 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal connection in your brain and your body. BlueChew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works in as little as 15 minutes. That means you can get it in quicker and stay in the game longer. Elevation without hesitation. This is peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet.
That's right, Brad. Sounds like somebody just cashed in the money in the bank at midnight. Oh, yes.
That's not let's see what happens energy. That's call the announcer, cue the slow motion, somebody get a replay energy.
That's when the referee slides in and goes, "Y'all good?" And you say, "Ring the bell."
That's the difference between showing up like it's a Tuesday
and showing up like it's WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and the after party.
Hey, BD, check this out. If she sends you that "you still awake" text, your confidence walking down the hallway should look like you just beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Man, after that, the mattress might retire your jersey.
The bed's gonna be in the back like, "I need some ice. Somebody get me some ice."
That's what I call going for the gold, baby.
And coming home with the championship belt. Make life easier by getting harder, and discover your options at BlueChew.com.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with the code Booker. That's promo code Booker. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Oh, yes, man. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, Doc. Before we even get started, before we really get into things, we got something going on March 21st, fantasy camp. Right now, we got over 25 people already signed up for fantasy camp. Fantasy camp is that thing to where you always wonder, do I got what it takes to be a professional wrestler? Well, this is your chance, guys. 5 hours. You're going to get 5 hours of learning the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts of professional wrestling. If you was ever one of those guys on the fence or one of those girls on the fence wondering, man, what is it all about? Because wrestling is one of those kind of like underground sports and entertainment deals where, you don't have like schools everywhere. It's not like you could just call somebody and say, man, how can I get a match at WWE? You got to start somewhere. All right. Fantasy camp is that first stop if you're thinking about getting into this business, guys. So sign up, go to realitywrestling.com. Do it now. We're trying to get our biggest fantasy camp class since we've been doing this thing. If we can get like 40, I think 45 might be the number to break. So if we can get over 45, man, we're going to break that number. So sign up for fantasy camp. Do it now. I do it for you.
And that is going down March the 21st at the at the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena, Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. And of course, on the 14th, we have Pay Up, which is one of our annual events. And we have several big matches planned for Pay Up. And it's the month before the Last Stand Rumble. And then we're marching on to Summer of Champions already. This year is already lining up. I can't even believe it's March. And so definitely, we got something going on in Reality Wrestling every weekend. So check out realitywrestling.com. But BT, should we talk about the Hall of Fame? Should we talk about the Hall of Fame first? Because we had 2 inductees since the last Hall of Fame podcast.
Definitely.
We knew that Stephanie McMahon was going to be going in. They said that maybe at top of the year in January sometime. Yeah. They talked about Stephanie McMahon going in. At Monday Night Raw last week in Atlanta, GA, they had a AJ Styles celebration because he is now officially retired from his career, which just seems so crazy to say that he did that. All of a sudden, just within a couple of weeks, he's like, I'm done. It's over. I'm retiring at the Royal Rumble. It just felt so quick. It was right after Cena's, right? So it was literally a month after John Cena retired. So it felt like it came at us real fast, pause. But AJ, they did a celebration of him, and at the end of the show, the whole locker room comes out, and then the Undertaker comes out, and Taker says, we got unfinished business. Of course, AJ Styles is the man who retired the Undertaker at WrestleMania 36 in the Boneyard match. And he said, we have unfinished business. And then he said, you're inducted into the 2026 class of the Hall of Fame, an honor that you've experienced twice yourself and inducted your wife as well. AJ Styles, 7-time world champion, 10 years in the WWE. Some of the great WrestleMania moments that he had, Chris Jericho, Shane McMahon, Edge. He had so many great WrestleMania matches. Logan Paul, I think he had a Logan Paul WrestleMania match. 2025, ESPN gave him the match of the year versus John Cena. In 2016, he also got the match of the year from the PWI against John Cena as well. So obviously they had a lot of chemistry. You worked with AJ early on in his career in TNA. Super well deserving of him to go into the Hall of Fame. It seems quick, but it also seems right.
That's the way it happens, man. It's the way it happened for me. When the doctor told me, hey, you got 2 choices. You can either have surgery or wrap it up. And I say, man, let's wrap this thing up. It's over. We had a hell of a run. And I don't know what AJ is going through or anything like that, but for him to stop like this, he has to be thinking about what's next, and because wrestling, he's done that. He's seen it at its highest level. He's done everything he possibly could do in this business. And, like you say, WrestleMania, it ain't like it was when he first started. It ain't got that same feel like when he first started because he's done it. He's seen it. He's been there. And now it's time to do something else for AJ. AJ talks about working with the next generation, working with, the young guys and the young girls, passing that knowledge on. I remember you talk about AJ and I working in TNA together, and I remember talking to AJ. We was getting ready to do an angle, and AJ had the chair, steel chair, and I said, AJ, I'm sorry, he had the belt, and I said, AJ, show me how you gonna hit me with that. And AJ said, I'm gonna hit you like this, and I go, no, you're not. Let me show you how to do that. And I showed AJ how to do it. We watched it on television. They go, man, you know what I mean? So now, the knowledge that I was able to give AJ, just that little nugget, he's going to be able to spread all the nuggets that he's learned throughout this business to these young guys. Talk to them, and there's going to be no better person can talk to these young guys about doing these death-defying moves, doing stunts, out there, stuff that I wouldn't even think about trying. AJ Styles, he could talk to you about it. You actually might could take his word a whole lot more than you could take mine, just because he's been a guy that's been doing that kind of stuff his whole career. But I can tell you right now, I've watched the evolution of AJ Styles and how this dude was able to go out there and do certain things at certain times and still make you feel like you was getting a whole pot of gumbo, you know what I mean? But you was just getting a little bit, but nah, man, I'm just glad to see this dude get out and on his own terms, walking straight up, and he's still going to be able to, make so much. I don't think it's about the money or anything, but he's still going to be okay as far as that. And he just signed a new contract, so I think everything's all well in the house of AJ Styles.
He's staying with the WWE for the long haul. And can you imagine being down at NXT and you're a young talent and you walk through the doors and say it's a Tuesday, you walk in to the PC and there's, the 35-time wrestling champion Booker T, and he's going to be one of your teachers. You got the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, standing over there. He's going to be one of your teachers. And you got the phenomenal AJ Styles all in one place at the same time. It's like a young wrestling fan's dream, and especially a young wrestler's dream, because, and I'm not just saying this because, we do the show together, but y'all are like three of the guys who everyone talks about are some of the greatest in-ring technicians that there's ever been in the sport. So to have that access to people down there in Orlando, if that's where AJ is going to be, I don't know if he's going to be stationed in NXT. I'm just making a guess, but even if he's a producer on the main shows on Raw or SmackDown, God, just what a tool to have, what a mind to have. Because when I first started watching TNA, it came around like 2003, I think is when I first saw it, 2004 maybe. AJ was the guy that I remember. Yeah. I remember seeing him do a dive out of the six-sided ring to the outside and thinking that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen up to that moment. And when you talk about the face of TNA, the TNA Mount Rushmore, who's the George Washington of that brand, you've got to go with AJ Styles first, and for him to then make the transition to WWE and have a 10-year career in the WWE. 10 years we watched AJ in the WWE, which is crazy that he's been that long. Absolutely the most deserving, and I'm so excited. But we talk about most deserving. Go ahead, BT.
No, but just piggyback off of that. So many people did not think AJ Styles could actually make it in WWE.
I remember that he was too small. He didn't have the right style. He didn't have the right look. Got the accent.
Everything they said was working against AJ Styles. He used it as fuel, and he went out there and just showed the world. One thing about this business, nothing trumps talent. Nothing. And that's what AJ Styles is, man. The dude is talent, man. This dude can work anywhere in the world, and he's going to work on top anywhere in the world just because he's one of the best in-ring performers that we've ever seen in this business, bar none. That's just facts. And if anybody look at AJ Styles any other way, they're misconceived. It's just my opinion.
Well, you know what's so funny about that though is like, because there was a lot made of his size, right? Like, oh, he's not big enough to be a WWE guy, which like by today's standards seems like a little bit funny, but 10 years ago I understood the conversation.
Yeah.
But also you can't say that and act like we didn't have Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho and Eddie Guerrero, guys who weren't the biggest in the world and went out there and did it at the highest level you possibly could. So I really don't understand why people didn't think he could make it. Is it just because he was a TNA guy?
I don't know. Maybe it's because maybe they thought he was just a guy that did flips.
Yeah.
I mean, you can actually put yourself in that position and people look at you as that, I mean, I don't want to you just making it a comparison. You look at a guy like Ricochet, and Ricochet came to WWE, and that style of wrestling just didn't fit Ricochet like it fit AJ Styles, and AJ Styles is looked at the same type of performer, almost somewhat like a Ricochet. You know what I mean? So I think AJ was able to transition from a TNA style, from a Japan style to a WWE style, and and that's what really good wrestlers do. Is they're able to adapt to whatever situation they're in and make it happen. And I think that's what AJ Styles has done, just as good or better than anybody who has ever come into the WWE, especially one least likely to succeed in the eyes of so many people. But I know we got to take a break, man. I know we got to take another break. So, guys, stick around. You are inside the Hall of Fame. We will be back in a minute.
What's up, everybody? This is Brad Gilmore and Booker T for the Hall of Fame podcast. And Book, I've been trying to get my mornings together lately. Not perfect, just better. Less chaos, less fog, less of that, why did I drink 3 coffees and now I'm vibrating out of my chair feeling?
Man, I know exactly what you mean. I used to hit the coffee hard in the morning. Then by noon, I'm crashing like I just got hit with the bookend. That's not good, dog.
That's why I started messing around with MudWtr. It's a coffee alternative made with cacao, chai, turmeric, and functional mushrooms, stuff like lion's mane and reishi, and gives you this smooth, locked-in focus without the jitters or that nasty crash.
And check this out, if you still want that real coffee taste, they've got a new low-caffeine coffee brand, only 45 milligrams of caffeine, but it's got L-theanine and those same mushrooms, and it feels so good, focused and steady, man. Not wired, not shaky, just ready to handle some business.
Yeah, Book, it's become part of my routine now. You just throw the powder in a mug, add hot water, mix it up. Some people add creamer, honey, whatever. It's easy.
I like this part. Everything in it is organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, kosher, no sugar, no weird stuff, man. Just clean energy that actually lasts.
Plus, you can grab it online or even find it at Target and Sprouts now, which makes it super easy. If you want to get your morning started smarter, head to MudWtr.com/Booker right now and get up to 43% off your entire order, plus free shipping and a free rechargeable frother when you use code BOOKER.
That's right, up to 43% off with the code BOOKER at MudWtr.com/Booker.
And after you order, they'll ask you how you heard about them. Tell them that the Hall of Fame sent you.
That's what I call starting the day like a champion. Now can you dig that, sucker? Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Hey, we're talking about the Hall of Fame, AJ Styles, man. He's a made man now. He's a made man. And let's talk about tag team action. Demolition, X, and Smash. Finally making their way inside the 2026 Hall of Fame. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see Demolition go in. I thought they should have went in a long time ago. X and Smash, those guys did so much. And of course, people can compare them to the Road Warriors, and I'm sure, because of the face paint and the outfit and whatnot. But X and Smash, Demolition, and Demolition, X and Smash, they were so different than the Road Warriors. I mean, the makeup definitely was alike, but as far as the makeup of the teams, 2 totally different teams. And I tell you, one of the guys, was it Smash in Demolition? I remember talking to him back in the locker room many times, and we always talked about when I first saw him. The first time I ever saw him was in Houston Wrestling, and his name was Barry Darso, and Nikolai Volkov came to town. Nikolai Volkov was just beating up all the Americans, and then Darso said, "Look, you say you got Russian missiles. Well, I got American missiles right here, pal." And and they had a match. And Nikolai Volkov went out there and gave him that finisher. Bang, 1, 2, 3. And the next time we saw him, he was a Russian. Crusher.
I remember you telling me that.
And I was like, wow. And we always talked about that. Yeah, I got American missiles right here, pal. But to see him go from that to so many different evolutions, to Demolition, now to the Hall of Fame, big props. Big props to those guys.
Man, Demolition, look, yes, I think that people are always going to say, oh, they were the WWF's answer to the Legion of Doom, to the Road Warriors. And I think maybe in some ways they were, but Axe and Smash were able to carve out their own path. Up until the New Day broke their record, they were the longest reigning tag team champions in WWF history, 3-time tag team champions. And Barry also, wasn't Barry Dorso, didn't he also play the Repo Man?
Repo Man also.
He was Repo Man. Yeah. He was Repo Man, which should go in they should have a gimmick Hall of Fame. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like Repo Man and Duke the Dumpster and Doink and Mantar.
Isaac Yankum.
Isaac Yankum. Kane could go in as Isaac Yankum and Fake Diesel. You know, like there's so many things. They should really think about this. But as far as Axe and Smash, man, like, yeah, they were WWF tag team wrestling for a long time, and they were the guys. And so it's been one of the teams, them, the Nasties, Luger, Shamrock. There's been a few people who every time that it comes around Hall of Fame time, we go, hey, is it this year? Are they going to finally get in? Are we going to finally see these guys get in? Luger got in last year. Demolition gets in this year. I'm still holding out hope for, the Nasties and Ken Shamrock and a few other people. Definitely. But it's always great for the guys to get their flowers. Now, I will say it's Axe and Smash going in, because I know that people were asking, like, does Crush get a nomination, in induction? Crush is not a member of this Demolition, but Taker was the one who broke the news to Axe and Smash. And I guess this is his new role. Like, I'm the Hall of Fame guy now.
I like it.
It's not a bad thing. If you get the call from Take, you know what's going on. Like, I'm going in the hall.
It's not a bad gig.
It's not a bad
gig at all, so yeah, I like it.
Do you remember who called you either time?
Yeah. First time, a name that I don't want to mention.
Okay, that's fine. Whoever it is, Ethel.
I think the second time was
another name you don't want to mention.
Another name I don't want to mention. Yeah.
Oh man, that's too funny.
Yeah, but I do remember Bruce Pritchard called Sharmell.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and we're really close with Bruce, and for them to call and give Sharmell the word, it was really, really cool.
Yeah, she went the same year as Take and the Steiners, and someone else went in that year. But yeah, I think
it was Bruce Pritchard.
Bruce always been a big proponent of Sharmell for sure. So that would be apropos if he did that. Look, we want to talk about the Elimination Chamber, obviously, that went down on Saturday. And
Danhausen. That's what everybody wants to talk about.
Let's
do it. Everybody, let's skip everything and let's go straight to Danhausen.
Let's go to Danhausen. So Danhausen,
we don't want to miss out on this. Okay, let's go.
Look, we're talking about gimmicks, and this is why it came to my mind. Danhausen, people don't know. He's I don't know really what the characterization is. He's a gimmick, but it's a gimmick. He puts on the face paint and he like casts curse on people, and he's kind of like, who he reminds me of? And I think you know this guy. Do you know Sven Gulli? Sven Gulli is like a guy. He's like on like local cable access shows, and he paints his face up, and he like always does the monster movies on television. So if you ever see like the old Universal monster movies, Sven Gulli's the guy. I think kind of introduces him, and he like throws rubber chickens at the screen. It's a gimmick, right? It's a gimmick, and that's what Danhausen reminds me of. But he was the guy who was in the crate, did not to open till the Elimination Chamber. They open him up at the Elimination Chamber. Both general managers do. He walks out to an interesting reaction. He has dancers with him. He gives Michael Cole a jar of teeth, which is part of his gimmick, and then the poof of smoke goes up in Chicago, and he disappears, and he is showered with booze from the Chicago faithful. Danhausen recently in AEW. I think he hadn't had a match in a very, very long time. I don't remember the last time I saw him.
Over a year, I think it's been.
Yeah. Okay, over a year. I haven't seen Danhausen on television in a long time. But you know what?
That's what's that. He hasn't been on AEW TV, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I heard he's had over 100 independent dates.
Well, that's interesting. That's a note. We can put that in the stat
Yeah,
sheet.
how can you be working for a company, not on television, and you've had 100 dates on the independent scene? That's crazy. It's crazy. You know, free money. People call me crazy, but that sounds like a good deal.
It sounds like a great deal if I could get it. You know what I mean? Sit me at home. Okay,
Yeah,
sounds good.
yeah. And I can still work, and I can still go work. Oh, okay.
You know, I understand that, wrestling and has always had like the gimmicks, and it's always been a part of the business. I mean, you can go back to late 1800s, like 1880. There's a guy named the Masked Wrestler who was the first kind of gimmick of his generation. But to me, it does border on silly. But WWE's always had a silly gimmick. You can have one of those guys on the show, right? Now, like if I see the Royal Rumble and it's like Danhausen and then Mr. Iguana comes out, like I might have a little bit of an issue with that. But overall, like, I don't know how often we're even going to see him wrestle. I don't know if he's just not going to be a specter on the show.
I don't know either. I mean, and I'm not going to try to sit here and speculate or anything like that, other than, he may, we definitely know he could be used on AAA shows. But yeah, those guys, because they got a lot of gimmicks over there. A lot of guys are like gimmick wrestlers over there. So he'll fit right in, to the AAA mode. How far is he going to go on the main roster? And, who you going to match him up with? What are we really trying to get out of the Danhausen character? I know it definitely could become a merchandising machine. If,
you could sell some t-shirts.
Yeah. If marketed right, you know what I mean? So, it's definitely always a place for, someone like a Danhausen. You remember the guy who was, what was his name? Oh man, the guy, he had the funny little chin, funny little mouth. Ellsworth, James Ellsworth.
James.
You remember him?
I love that was the funny chin and mouth. Yes, I remember James Ellsworth.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Absolutely.
But it was a place.
There's a place for him.
Ellsworth on the show, you know what I mean? So wrestling is wrestling, and when you take the Danhausen characters and funny stuff out of professional wrestling, you kind of like lose the the real meaning of what wrestling truly really is, in my book, because wrestling is to be funny sometimes it's serious, sometimes it got so many different elements. So I'm not gonna preconceive what we're trying to get out of Danhausen. I'm gonna sit back and watch and let this thing play out, unlike a lot of podcasters. A lot of these podcasters, they want to review the show, and they want to book the show, and they want to write it. Okay, and I say, to these podcasters that's doing that, get your own wrestling company and see how hard it is to book 52 weeks out of the year. All right, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. Sometimes you got to do certain things. I mean, one of our guys who just won an award just yesterday, his name is Buck Gator. He's a gimmick. He's a gimmick. But we need guys like Buck Gator on the show. All right.
Absolutely.
But I need a Buck Gator that can work too. You understand what I'm saying? So it all works out if we do this thing properly, you know what I mean? So now I don't know. I'm gonna sit back and watch this thing play out and see what his Danhausen character goes in the WWE. Put the title on it. Put your title on it. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Let me ask you something, Brad. What's one money lesson you wish you learned way earlier in life?
Oh man, BT, I wish I learned about budgeting. No questions. Just understanding where your money goes before it disappears. And now, if you've got kids or teenagers, you're trying to pass those lessons down while juggling everything else.
Exactly. Parenting already comes with a million moving parts. The last thing you want is money stress adding to that chaos.
And that's where Cash App comes in, especially for parents with teens.
For all the parents out there with teenagers, we know you're already trying to keep a million different things under control. Cash App is here to help you make sure your teens' money and their spending isn't adding to that craziness.
Cash App is designed to meet teens aged 13 to 17 where they are with intuitive educational tools. Available through sponsorship by an eligible parent or guardian, teens can gain access to a personalized Cash App card that comes in different colors and patterns to fit their style, and the ability to instantly access money from their family and friends. Cash App makes managing money feel easier and honestly just cooler than the other options out there.
The platform also has tools that can help develop real-world financial habits in a space that's safe and easy to navigate, all with your oversight and approval.
If your teen is getting their first job, Cash App can give them access to their paychecks up to 2 weeks early and can help them achieve personalized saving goals that they can set themselves all within the app. With Cash App, these tools become something they'll actually want to use because they were designed with them in mind.
Finally, no one wants unnecessary surprises. With Cash App, there are no monthly fees, no minimum balance required, and no hidden charges when sending or receiving money.
With the Cash App card, you and your teen's balances receive 24/7 fraud monitoring. If there's ever something that feels off, you have the ability to lock their card right from your phone in just one tap.
Skip the stress and give your teen a way to learn financial responsibility with no hidden fees. Download Cash App and get started today.
For a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code FAMILY10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply.
Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking service provided by Cash App's banking partners.
Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC.
Direct deposit promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand.
Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosure.
Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, baby. Hey guys, we're getting ready to wrap this thing up here real soon, so you got anything, make sure you get it in real quick. Quick show today. We got business to take care of. I gotta get to NXT tomorrow. We got LFG kicking back off tomorrow as well. So man, and guys, season 3 of LFG, I just want y'all to know it's gonna be a banger. So get ready to check it out.
Well, I can't wait to see, BT, what y'all got in store for that LFG season 3. The crowd at the United Center. Did you ever work the United Center before?
Many times. I always love
WCW was a big one.
WWE. Always love working the United Center. Yeah, man. It's always a blast. Yeah.
Is that the old Rosemont Horizon? Is that the same building or no? It's a different building?
No, it's a different building.
Because I've always heard some of the guys always say, "Oh, I love working Chicago, the Rosemont Horizon, the United Center." I didn't know if it was the same thing. The crowd was there to see a couple elimination chamber matches.
Danhausen. That's what they were there to see. But that's another story. Go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to Danhausen. They were there.
I met Danhausen. He's a really nice guy. He really is. Yeah.
So was my next door neighbor.
You know that's gonna be attributed to me. You know.
I hope so. I can only be so lucky. Look, the Elimination Chamber results. We were talking about it on our ESPN national show, and one of the things that we kind of predicted and discussed came true. Let's talk about the women's Elimination Chamber. A lot of people going into it were like, "Hey, Tiffany Stratton seems to be likely. Alexa Bliss." A lot of money came in on Alexa Bliss at the last minute. But Friday Night SmackDown, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky lose their tag team championships to Nia Jax and Lash Legend, which, by the way, congratulations to Lash Legend and Nia Jax on that one. Big ups to those ladies, the irresistible forces. But when that happened, all of a sudden the money kind of shifted over a little bit to Rhea Ripley looking likely. This is something you and I talked about on the show. We're like, look, if you have the opportunity to do Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley, just the poster alone sells thousands of tickets for WrestleMania. just to see those two women match up with one another. And that's ended up what happening. We have now for WrestleMania, the WWE Women's Championship, the Storm Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley.
Hey, bro. I guess my thing was you didn't want to wait too long for that match right there, anticipating, well, we got 5 years or 3 years before we can really make this happen. No. You don't want to miss the boat on that one. Just because, you don't know what the plans the ladies have in mind. You know what I mean? Are they going to want to, leave and take a leave of absence, have a baby or whatever? You never know. So you want to try to pull the trigger if you got you have a chance to with something like that. Jade Cargill is a specimen. Then you got Rhea Ripley, who's definitely holds her own against anyone, especially in ring. I think Rhea Ripley right now I think she's the best worker that she's ever been in ring, inside the squared circle. I really do. I mean, I watch her timing, I watch her movement. I can tell she's thinking out there. So that matchup right there, definitely, it's a marquee matchup all the way across the board. Checks off every box. And the question is, what are you going to put as a main event? You know what I mean? It's a main event. And
It's a main event.
Right now the fans are clamoring for, women's main event matches, So it's definitely a marquee match that you could definitely put in that highlight marquee, spotlight.
I agree with you. That's like a night one main event for sure. If that's night one and then you got Punk and Roman Reigns night two, like those aren't two bad main events. But here's the thing. On the flip side,
even though I don't like booking the show, I
booking
show. I just wanted to put that out there. But go ahead.
You're a terrible booker, but a good booker at the same time. It's weird. You're a terrible booker. But as far as that goes, I like it. But now the question is like, where does Tiffany Stratton fit into WrestleMania? Charlotte, Alexa Bliss. There are a lot of people now kind of on the sidelines as it stands right now.
It's just part of the game, bro. Everybody don't get a chance to get it, be a part of WrestleMania every year and that highlight spotlight moment. A lot of people are, ragging on Rhea Ripley because this is her 5th main event spot.
She's damn good.
It's a reason why she's in that main event spot. You're gonna have to take that spot from a Rhea Ripley, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm a promoter, Rhea Ripley is the one I'm gonna be wanting to put in that spot until someone step up and take it away. That's just the way it works. You know what I mean? So, nah, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Like I said, this is a main event. And I hope that's the way it plays out. These two ladies really get that spotlight moment. Really be big for both of them.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And then when you talk about the tag team champions, Craig Antonio said this, so I want to react to it. But he said, "Happy belated BT. The Irresistible Forces have the belts. Do you think that's Charlotte and Bliss's way to WrestleMania, or surprise the Bella Twins get it?" I think that you could see Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, the Bella Twins, the Irresistible Forces, and then Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez all like in a fatal 4-way for the tag titles. I could see that actually happening as well, just to get the name talent on the show.
Look, I'm not trying to book the show, okay?
I know you're not.
My thing is this. I'm loving seeing the Irresistible Force. Lash Legend, get the rub.
Yeah.
That's what you need when you step into the league like that, and you're trying to become a player. You need that rub. All right, that little goal definitely puts you in play as far as giving you that chip in the game. And Lash Legend, she's been working her ass off to get to that position. And now give her flowers, give her a chance to springboard, and let's see exactly, how far she can swim. That's the way I see it. But it's so many things that can be done now with the tag team picture. And the thing is, those two, who they lose, who they win it from?
Rhea Ripley and Io Sky.
They didn't need the titles.
No.
Come on. Why would they have the titles?
No, this elevates the Irresistible Forces for sure.
They didn't need the titles. I mean,
no.
Come on. I think they just was holding on to the titles just because, but I don't think Rhea Ripley needed a tag team champion. She's a player. She's a player. But one thing about Rhea, she knows how to play the game very, very well because, like I said, when they put her in Dark State, she could have been very, very bitter about being in that spot, but she took that
Judgment
spot.
Day. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Judgment Day. When she took that spot, she took it and ran with it and made it her own.
Mhm.
She was the highlight of that group.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day. So, oh man, she's definitely a player.
Well, let's talk about the men's elimination chamber. Actually, first off, I want to shout out CM Punk, Finn Balor. Great match. CM Punk coming out to the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls theme was awesome at the United Center. But when we go to the men's elimination
How'd you
chamber,
like that match?
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
All right,
I
go ahead.
enjoyed it.
All right, just move on.
I thought Finn looked good. Um,
That a jab?
no,
Okay,
I
go
told you
ahead.
I like Punk's entrance.
Okay. He's a big guy. He's a big guy.
He's a big guy. No, I'm just playing. AJ Lee, of course, wins the Intercontinental Championship. Shout out to CM Punk. AJ Lee wins the Intercontinental Championship as well. But I want to shout out to the men's elimination chamber. We thought it was going to be Cody Rhodes. It seemed likely, and then Drew McIntyre came in, messed the whole thing up, and Randy Orton ends up winning the elimination chamber. And also, Seth Rollins makes his comeback and is responsible for eliminating Logan Paul. We also must mention that Bronson Reed, as well as Braun Breaker, are both on the shelf going into WrestleMania. Bronson Reed had an injury on Raw last Monday night. So it looks like we might get Seth Rollins and Logan Paul again at WrestleMania. They had a great match before. Maybe they will top it. But Randy Orton winning. I did not see this coming at all. But here's the interesting thing. Nick Aldis made a match afterward for this Friday on SmackDown, the WWE title on the line, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Does Drew drop the title? I don't know what's going to happen here. But anyway, what do you think about Randy winning, first and foremost?
Randy said, if God willing, he's planning on doing this for another 10 years.
Yeah.
So that means he's planning on breaking the damn record. All right. So that's what I see. I see this definitely setting Randy Orton, to get his next world championship to become 15 time?
He would be the 15-time champion.
15-time world heavyweight champion if he could do it. He's only a couple off, if he, stick around for another 10 years. I think we definitely could see Randy Orton become, the greatest WWE champion of all time to add on to, I don't know if anybody's broken his record, but he was the youngest world champion
24.
in WWE's history as well, right?
Still holds.
No, man, this dude, it's a lot of history there for, Randy Orton, and his dad, his granddad. He's got, the legacy is there for Randy Orton to actually be able to pull the thing off. So big ups to Randy Orton.
Big ups to Randy Orton. Big ups to really everybody there at the show on Saturday in Chicago. I love Elimination Chamber just for like the prestige of seeing that structure. Sometimes those matches are hard to pull off. We'll see what happens though. On the road to WrestleMania, the road to the throne is long, BT, but we still got 7 weeks, I think, till WrestleMania. So a lot can happen.
The road to the throne is long. Oh yeah.
A wrestling historian says happy belated birthday, Booker. And as well, we had another one from MW Music. Danhausen will be another Brodus Clay. Somebody better call his mama. I don't know if that's a great comparison. I'll be honest. Shout out to Tigers.
That's just cold, man. But we'll see. We'll see how this thing play out with Danhausen. I'm interested. I'm very interested. But we got to get out of here, man. I got to get chicken on the stove. But I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Get your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. Brad, for all the heavy lifting, and guys, until next time, peace. We love you. We out.